What if Team 7 went back in time? This is Kevin Carnage. Before we get into much rambling, or before my cat comes and interrupt me and I lose my train of thought, let's get straight into this. How we're going to start this off is the Otsutsuki came to planet Earth, and the fight starts and they notice that the three strongest people around is Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto, due to Sakura's minute regeneration in Sakura and Sasuke's Rinnegan, and Naruto has the nine tails. So instead of killing them, they see so much potential, they decided to seal them and would try to extract their essence so they could make stronger Otsutsukis based on their blood. Let's say this is how Otsutskis are made. So they seal them, and somehow they forgot about them, and they've been sealed for about 30 years. One day the seal had a slight crack, which Sakura decided to use a haymaker, which she but anyway, not getting into that. And they finally come out just to see nothing but death and destruction. Momoshiki and Kinshiki sensed their presence, and they immediately went to where they was. They then went into a taijutsu battle, which Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura noticed that they're no match. In fact, Kenshiki and Momoshiki have been Momoshiki. But anyway, Kenshiki and the other guy that has Boruto's body has been absorbing chakra for about 30 years, so they're very overpowered. Just before the one that has Boruto's body could land the finishing blow on Naruto, the Drogon activated, and for a brief moment, Boruto took control of his own body. Would be the one time thing. I think Anime X did something like this, but he didn't send back all three. He sent back Naruto by himself. But anyway, I stole this part, and he called out for the time turtle. Since the time turtle has been resting for the last 40 years, he has enough energy to send back three people. And Boruto then tells Naruto that it would only be, this is a one-way trip, and the turtle remarks that yes, this will be a one-way trip, because then after he completes this mission, he is going to die. Naruto tries to, get tries to ask Baruto, is there a way that he could free him? And he'll try it, and not Baruto nods his head, saying that he's long gone. This is in fact, the Jogan actually copied his memories and stuff to whenever Naruto comes out of the seal, that it activates, and he could activate and send Naruto and the others to the past. Mm. So Baruto is long gone. This is just a bit of memory saved in a chakra, similar to what Minato did to the Nine Tails and the Seal. It's it's almost the same thing that not Baruto did to the Jogan, and uh yeah. So Naruto sheds a tear with, and he then kicks away Baruto, and he grabs the time turtle, and he calls out to Sakura and Sasuke to come closer, and they poofed away with the two Otsutsuki members trying to attempting to apprehend them, but failed, and then a huge crater start forming, that with the earth being getting destroyed. Basically, in The earth doesn't have any more essence. It was just holding on by a thread because of the three of their chakra. The world was still trying to hang on, but as soon as they left, shit broke up and the planet started turning into a giant meteor and blast out of its orbit. I don't know if that's a scientific myth, if that's ever possible. Hope not, because a planet-sized meteor that already exists in real life, and yeah, Pluto. Anyway, my bad. So let's say they been swirling around for a few minutes, and they wake up inside. Well, Sakura wakes up inside her room. Sasuke wakes up in his room, and Naruto wakes up in the orphanage. They time travel back to when they were 3 years old. Naruto knows that one more year and he'll be kicked out of the orphanage, so he decided to. Before anything else, they ran out of their respective spaces in. They went to their training ground at Training Ground 7 and they met up. They started hugging each other and crying. And, Sasuke tried to apologize to Naruto, and Naruto says it's okay. And Sakura start bursting into tears because then Sarada is dead and their entire friends are dead. And Naruto says to think about it in a good way, that we got a second chance and we're not supposed to, mess this one up. We're going to, get stronger and try to make the village stronger. And Sasuke was almost like, he said to himself that he's going to try to stop the Uchiha massacre and stuff like that. And Naruto then says it out cool. Sasuke, you need to ensure that the Uchiha massacre doesn't happen. And so Sasuke does a silly remark as to be like, you're not the Hokage yet. You can't give me orders. But then it was just the joke remark from Sasuke, because Sasuke really does want that the Uchiha massacre doesn't happen. And well, Sakura doesn't have anything traumatic happen to her. Then they said, and after that they started training. They get up early in the morning and started training, and Naruto then decided that it's gonna be one more year before the orphanage decides that they're going to kick him out. In fact, it wasn't this time, because then he decided not to be an obnoxious jerk, and he still moves out of the apartment at 3 years old. He also then he went to the third Hokage, tells him that he needs an apartment by himself and certain stuff, because then he wants to start to train to be a ninja, because he believed that he could be the world's most greatest Hokage. And Hiruzen reluctantly agrees, and Naruto decided not to get a house at the, like, it was in the middle of the city, right? But anyway, he doesn't do that. He gets one that is near the Uchiha complex, and he frequently trains with Sasuke and Sakura. And Sakura, he asked the request from Sakura. He still's going to go to the Uchiraku ramen and meet the guy and stuff, but he tries to eat more healthier food so he could train even harder and stuff like that. So he tells Sakura if she could prepare the food for them and stuff. So they're training, and it's time skip like about 8 years. They start the academy, and they are known as, they have been known to be their reputation. They're now been called the Prodigy 3. Because then the only one that could compete with them is them, and no one ever tries bothering. Kiba is the only one who wants to be a dick about it and tries to fight Sasuke and Naruto ever so often, with Sakura being the one to take him out. And so they graduate the academy. I know that's a quick time skip. I haven't even talk about their abilities, but we'll get to their abilities later. They graduate the academy. The teams are formed, and they're happy that they're still in Team Seven. So Team Seven is in canon. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, due to them being known as the Prodigy Three. Uh, they wait, knowing that Kakashi is going to be late, and all three of them this time decide that they are going to prank Kakashi. They came up with the most elaborate prank, which, if he even if he dodges it, it would activate another one. If he doesn't dodge it, it would activate another trap, which will spiral into a bunch of other traps. And this happened. Kakashi activates, gets hit in the head with an eraser, and thinks it's over. As he tries to lean forward, he steps in a bucket, slips on a banana, blah 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 blah. After all the traps have been said, he stood up in front of them and declared that he hates them all. He then tells them to meet him up on top of the roof, as he then body flickers to the roof. One thing he didn't expect, that the three of them already know the concept of body flickering. When as soon as Kakashi reaches up on top of the roof, he turns around to see the three of them looking at him. He then asks them. He was slightly surprised, and he then shrugs it off and asks them, "What are your dreams and goals?" Now, oh yes, and the Itachi massacre doesn't happen. Reason why? Naruto did a transformation jutsu and threatened Danzo and threatened Hiyashi. No. Sasuke's father, and state that he will kill the entire Uchiha clan, and if he decides to throw a coup. And he then threatened Danzo that he will kill him and end the Root's existence if he ever does anything to the Uchiha. And he pretends to be Madara. And when Danzo asks, "Who are you?" Danzo, I am Madara Uchiha. But anyway, beside that, we gonna get into most stuff. This video is relatively short. It's on like 30 minutes, and yeah, I hope y'all like this one, because then I am going to be doing much more. Again, I am Kevin Cornage, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe.